Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I am your host, Josh, and with me are my two co-hosts.
It's your boy, Chase.
And it's your boy, Nick.
And today we got a good show full of trailers. Going to discuss the Mortal Kombat trailer. We're going to discuss the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer that dropped. A new version of that trailer just dropped. Cruella, we're also going to discuss that. Emma Stone playing Cruella DeVille, Disney film. We're going to discuss that. That trailer just dropped. Also going to discuss some news. Supergirl being going to be introduced in the Flashpoint film coming up. We're going to have Marvel, talking about Marvel getting the rights back to Punisher and to Jessica Jones from Netflix. We also got a movie review coming up. Going to discuss Sia's film, music, and we're also going to discuss, of course, like we always do, the latest episode of WandaVision, as we always do every week. How are you all doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good. Got a haircut this past week from an actual barber, which was nice. Did some schoolwork. Caught up on all the stuff we need to watch for the show, which was fine until we got to music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't get the memo about getting haircuts and like looking nice for the show. I'm just got that scruffy fro right now. I see you got your haircut too, Josh, with the little mustache trim.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Usually I rock the beard, but I had drill this weekend, so
okay. Okay.
So I had to cut the beard off this weekend. So yeah, so I got the rocking a little Pepe Le Pew mustache right now. You know, but you know, it really doesn't matter anyway. Since I wear a mask.
You look like you're about to harass a cat.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? Obnoxious French waiter.
Yeah.
You know. Or just a Me Too skunk. So I don't know. But yeah,
Pepe led me too.
Yeah. He got away. You know what I mean. He was from the last holdover. You know. He got away with it. You know what I mean. Nobody's talking about it anymore. But I don't know.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
People drag him. You know, I don't know. He might. You know, it still might happen. Nobody's ever safe. You know what I mean. Like people from Twitter. People from Twitter. Yeah, I mean, people from Twitter will, go back and look at what he did, and he was like, "Can you believe he got away with this?" And it's just boom, starts trending. You know, like shit just happens like that. You know, like David Letterman.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden, like next week, we just see trending on Twitter #MePew.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Because Pepe Le Pew, he was under Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's cancel Looney Tunes, cancel Warner Brothers. Enjoy HBO Max subscription.
Oh my God.
Cancel Space Jam 2.
Yeah. They're gonna boycott Space Jam.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. So you never know. Nobody's ever safe. Nobody's safe.
True.
No matter what you did, no matter how long ago, you're not safe. Don't think you're safe. You know what I mean?
But I mean, like, as long as you just don't do shitty stuff, you're cool.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Billy Butcher had the best words to live by.
Yeah.
Don't be a steward.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, look at Sarah Silverman. She's getting dragged through the mud because what she did.
She did a roast.
Well, she did a roast of Britney Spears a long time ago, and then because now people are feeling bad for Britney Spears, now she's getting dragged, saying like, "Why were you so mean to Britney Spears back in the day?" Roasting her and things like that. So.
I don't know the exact context of that, but was the roast?
Was that an actual official Comedy Central roast?
Yeah.
Or was that just like? Was that just like her just writing trick? Okay, in that case, that's the situation where everybody knows exactly what they're there for. You don't go to a roast and expect like people to just talk nice about you for an hour and a half.
I don't think Britney Spears was there though. Was she? Was she there?
I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, let me not say. I don't know if Britney Spears was there, but I know they did a roast of Spears.
Okay.
Or something like that. So you know what I mean. Where Sarah Silverman did talk bad about her, where she roasted her. I don't know if it was like an official roast. I think it was an official roast, or it could be. No, I think it was just her doing stand up or something like that, where she was.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, she was doing stand up or something like that where she was roasting her. So yeah, but so a lot of people are dragging that back up again and then saying that, you know, why were you so mean to her back then? She did, I think she did apologize for it. She did say like, I'm sorry. So, you know, so like I said, you're never safe. Don't ever think you're safe. You know,
I mean, even the joke that even the joke that she told, it wasn't anything even that malicious. Like I'm reading on InStyle, it was like the joke quoted. It's like 25 years old and she's already accomplished everything she's ever going to accomplish in her life. She jokes. She's a mother. It's crazy. It's weird to think that just a few years ago on this very show, she was this like sweet, innocent little girl in slutty clothes riding around with a python. She continued. Have you seen Britney's kids? Oh my god, they are the most adorable mistakes you will ever see.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's comedy.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I mean, of course. I mean, Britney probably didn't feel good about it. I mean, she the one getting joked about, but you know.
Yeah. Probably not.
I see the thing with comedians. It's not that I don't think that they shouldn't be accountable for their words. It's more so a matter of I take it from a different lens. I'm assuming that their intent is never malicious when they're making these jokes.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like you can say whatever you want, just as long as, you know, the intent is not malicious. If you're just using your jokes to cut somebody down, then yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Unless you're cutting down a really awful person, in which case, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's none of my business. I don't really care. Sarah Silverman not paying my bills to defend her. So
I mean, there's a rule in there's a rule in comedy.
You want.
I mean, the rule in comedy is you never punch down.
Yeah. I mean, she was definitely punching up at the time. So
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, things like that. It's just, you know, like they always come back around. But I forgot to mention, we got some good news. Big news. Good news. Big news. Rush Limbaugh is still dead. Big news.
That's great. I've been playing Hades and I've been looking for him.
Let's go. Rush Limbaugh dead still. Let's go. Let's get it. Crab dance. Yeah. Still dead. Yeah.
Thank God. Good riddance.
All right.
Bubbles, get in here. Oh, damn.
Let me play it one more time for Bubbles. Let me go. Let's go, Bubbles. Yeah, there you go, Bubbles. There we go.
Thank God. Good riddance.
Oh man, that is fun to listen to.
That is a good song, especially when good moments such as that happen.
Yeah.
Yep. Normally I'm of the camp to, you know, try not to speak ill of the dead. However, when that man has spent his entire life sowing hate, voting hate speech, used his $1 million platform to do what he can to make the world worse.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And then also have the nerve to get a medal. He got a medal of honor for it.
I pity the maggots that have to eat his rotting corpse.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get sick.
You know. Oh man. But
yeah, just going on having the AIDS corner where he would read out the names of men and women who would pass away from AIDS, celebrating that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, really just detestable human being.
I mean, whenever anybody whether they were on the left or liberal, whenever they died, he would be making jokes and like having a ball about it. So I don't know I don't know why anybody on the left hand side of politics would even attempt to try to hold his name in reverence. Like, I'm seeing all these things on MSNBC or NBC treating him like, he was this pioneer or some shit. Like, no, he was an asshole. He was an asshole with a microphone. Let's keep it a buck.
I mean, pioneer for what? Like, bringing Republicans even more fucking crazy? Like
yeah, I guess that.
Exactly. If you look at history, if Rush Limbaugh doesn't exist, we never would have gotten a President Trump.
Yeah.
Because everything that Trump did in his 2016 campaign, it was just building off of everything Rush Limbaugh had been doing for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories, bigotry. You know, I mean, that's kind of what's his brand.
He was one of the first, one of the initial COVID-19 deniers, just spouting all sorts of factually wrong information about it.
I mean, he denied a lot of things. There was a hurricane going on that he denied. What, mid-hurricane? He was outside in the hurricane saying that, oh, this ain't nothing. Like, no, he was a joke. He was a terrible human being.
Yeah, one of the biggest detractors of the Rodney King beating.
Yeah, no, he's good. Thank God he's gone.
Trash.
Keep taking him out, honestly. 2021.
Yeah. I mean,
great.
I mean, if there is a hell, hopefully he is, you know, burning hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully from the flames of Scorpion, just like from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read Dante's Inferno, but the 8th circle is for frauds, right?
You know, so I mean, bad.
I heard they updated Doom so where you could find him in hell.
Somebody should mod that in Doom, the PC version.
Yeah.
Just mod in a version of Rush Limbaugh in there.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
What about modding him into the Last of Us 2 and just have just any just death you could do on somebody?
I mean, I'm cool with that too. You know what I used to do? Random story. Remember that WWE game back in the day?
Which one? Like 2005?
You got a point there. There was
a lot of WWE. There are a lot of WWE games. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
So there was one of the first ones where you could create your own characters. What I would love to do would be I would create characters for people that I hated, and I'd beat them up with my character. And I spent like at least a good like 2 years just doing that. You got a lot of aggression, and I feel like more people should do that.
The
world would be a much better place. A lot more serotonin.
Nick, you finally got your shirt there.
Oh, yep, finally got my Fear the Maverick.
Fear the Maverick.
Yay. Yep, unfortunately, her fight got canceled last minute due to some health complications from Jillian Robertson. But well, that's the fight game. Shit happens.
Yeah. Fear the Maverick literally put the fear into Jill Robertson. So much so she got sick.
See, I was gonna make those jokes, but she could beat me up, so I'm not going
to. Speedy. Yeah, just wish speedy recovery to Robertson. And, quick turnaround for Maverick, hopefully.
Yeah, and hopefully they do get to fight.
Let me stop talking shit. I want to be the new Rush Limbaugh. Let me stop.
Jillian would definitely kick your ass too.
Jillian's is a badass in her own right. It would have been a very tough fight for Maverick.
Yeah, absolutely. It is kind of cool. Her last name is Maverick. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. It's like you have a built-in nickname already.
Yeah.
It was like when I first met her, I didn't even believe that was her last name. It was like, I'm Miranda Maverick. Fuck out of here. What's your real last name?
Yeah. I was when you first mentioned her, I was just like, oh, is that her stage name?
No. It was like when Spider-Man met Doctor Strange in Infinity.
Yeah.
Oh, we're using our made-up name.
Oh, in that case, I'm Spider-Man.
Man. All right, so let's get into these trailers here, people. Let's discuss we
got a trifecta, some good ones this week.
Yeah.
I'll start with the oldest one to newest here. So I'll go with the Snyder Justice League trailer here. The Snyder Justice League trailer is about what everybody kind of predicted it would be. More situations where it's operatic music. Thank God he's not using Hallelujah again. So different song.
Here's Bubbles' impression of a Zack Snyder character.
looking away broodingly, and wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But hey, I actually liked it. I didn't expect to like it.
Yes, this trailer, I will give Zack Snyder this. He knows how to cut a trailer.
Yeah.
Because I think he's one of the few directors in Hollywood that always got final cut, at least on the trailer. So stuff like Watchmen, the trailers for 300, even the trailers for Batman v Superman. I was hyped for all those movies purely on the trailer.
Yeah. No, I was literally almost sold. Like maybe they were right. Maybe there is a Snyder cut out there that was so different from what we saw in theaters. And the cool thing about this trailer, it's not selling you on, this is the same movie you saw 3-4 years ago at this point. They were selling a movie with a completely different tone. There's scenes we hadn't seen before. The stuff with the nightmare sequence that's supposed to lead into sequels is getting expanded on. Darkseid's actually appearing in this, which I was kind of hating on the design for him in the first trailer, but here it actually looks pretty cool. You also see characters like Desaad and Granny Goodness in the background. However, the trailer had me until one moment at the very end. We want to know where we live in?
We'll get into that.
Where do we live? Where do we live, Bubbles? We live in a society.
So just going through the trailer, and actually talking about one of my favorite moments from the trailer, absolute the brilliance of that scene. Because people keep clowning that scene, but they have yet to refute the idea that we do live in society.
Motherfucker!
You know what I mean?
You pontificating motherfucker!
People have yet to really refute that idea that we do live in society.
Jared Leto's Joker is technically correct. We do, in fact, live in a society. Even though that was in the, if I'm not mistaken, those were the apocalypse, not flashbacks, but flash forwards, right? If I'm not mistaken. That was the Earth. That was the Earth 10 years after COVID-19.
So that was like because that was like a dream sequence. So in Batman v Superman,
that was a dream sequence in Batman v Superman that when you watch the movie, even in the Ultimate Edition, that scene just kind of comes out of nowhere.
See, I'm pretty sure that I read this somewhere that Zack Snyder's plan was for us to sort of get a sort of injustice sort of storyline where Superman becomes evil. So
people do like injustice. People do like that story.
Yeah. So I mean,
the story of the first game is weak as hell, but the second game, the story is actually legitimately good, and that's a really interesting Elseworld story.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know the full vision of the man because he is a mad lad. But
he is a mad lad who I just watched a couple videos breaking down some of his movies, and a common theme in all of them is that the so-called heroic characters are always treated as being stupid for being heroic. It's always the like asshole out for themselves guys that are the heroes of his movies. Which, why would you make that guy in charge of Superman? I don't fucking know. But
hey, kudos to him. He has a cult. Shout out to them that they finally get what they want.
He is getting a very rare opportunity in Hollywood. He left the original theatrical release due to just about the worst circumstances a human being can go through.
Yeah. And
years later, he is getting his chance to show off his vision of what he wanted this movie to be, which is something not a lot of directors get to do.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean,
so for better or worse, good for him.
Yeah. And like he had the keys to the entire cinematic universe. So, you know, just that off that, you know, shout out to him. I know that was probably hard, especially, you know, going through what he went through. Right. So, you know, for him, I do hope that this movie proves me wrong. But from past experiences,
none of us are looking forward to watching a bad movie. I'm hoping for the best. At least if I feel like I've become less of a canon queen as far as the DC universe goes. So I'm curious more than anything to see how this movie plays out. All 4 hours of fuck me.
Yeah. No, that's the problem.
So I just wanted to ask you too a question, get your perspective on it. So do you think the excitement of this film is actually genuinely like, oh, we're excited to see more Justice League, or do you think it's a cult of personality just around Zack Snyder that people are excited for? Because like you said, Chase, he does. I think it's a bit of both. I feel like a lot of like one half of the camp is because it's all of Zack Snyder's fans saying, "Yay, we're finally getting a decent version," and the other half is kind of like, okay, we saw the theatrical cut of Justice League and just how much of a Frankenstein's monster of a movie that was. That was just two directors' visions that were just clashing, and it's so obvious to tell who did what scene when and where. And we're, at least I think people are more so looking forward to getting a cohesive version, an actual cohesive film version of the Justice League. Yeah.
Now,
because even going back to 2017, I was excited for the movie because I really liked parts of Batman v Superman. I liked everything with Ben Affleck and with Gal Gadot. It was just how he handled Superman, which left just kind of a sour taste in my mouth, and how he handled Lex Luthor, which hopefully he doesn't appear in this movie.
Oh god.
And now, all the stuff, all the casting stuff surrounding that, which got me excited, like J.K. Simmons playing Commissioner Gordon. I was curious to see how that would play out.
Now, believe it or not, people do actually like Batman vs Superman. People actually do like Man of Steel. Like these are movies that have their sort of like little cults. That
Grace Randolph,
that will
I like
literally fight.
I will say I liked 2/3 of Man of Steel. I even like I think all in all about 30 total minutes of Batman v Superman.
So for them, I hope that this movie is everything that they hope for and more. For me, I just hope it's good and palatable. That's all I could ask for, because like I know from past experiences, seeing a Zack Snyder trailer of any sorts usually blows me out the water, except for the Hallelujah joint, which I know that was his daughter's song, but I just wish he picked a better version.
No, I mean that was
at least a better version of the song.
Yeah, that
Didn't he use Leonard Cohen's version? He used Leonard Cohen's version.
He did.
It didn't work.
Yeah, that was Leonard Cohen's initial version of Hallelujah that he used. I think he wanted to use that in Watchmen, and for obvious reasons, the estate chose not to.
It didn't.
But they
work.
accepted it on this.
It didn't work. It didn't work. And plus, he has the keys. So I mean, like, I don't know why he has the keys, but he has the keys, and I respect.
That's kind of like why I'm like hesitant to look forward to this, because this movie, it was supposedly going to set up, because I remember hearing that Zack Snyder initially wanted to do Justice League as a 2-part film. So so this movie was going to be set up sequels, which are not going to happen. Zack Snyder's last chance to make a DC movie. So what's the fucking point? Besides just showing off, okay, this is the version I wanted to release 4 years ago.
Well, I guess, I mean, like you said, there is a demand for it. It increases people interested in HBO Max viewership, get more subscribers to it, because the movies HBO Max has been coming out with, I can't think of anyone that's been really great except, I guess Fresh Prince one I thought was really great. That was a documentary they did.
Yeah, the Fresh Prince movie, Judas and the Black Messiah, was really good.
I was about to say,
but they've had a lot more misses. I
actually really liked Lockdown, the Chiwetel Ejiofor and Hathaway.
Whoa, you like that?
Really liked that?
It was alright.
Yeah, I like that movie.
We reviewed it.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, I like that.
Why are you surprised? We reviewed it. Do you not?
I thought y'all didn't like it. What the hell? Yeah, y'all like that? I remember y'all liked
the movie.
I never said it was good. I said it was alright.
Like, wow.
I like the movie. It was comfort food.
I don't fully hate it. There were parts of it that were good. You fully hate the movie?
Okay,
you found nothing redeemable?
Moving on. Back to the fucking Snyder Cut.
Yeah, no, we'll handle you later. We'll talk about that later.
So going through the trailer, so like you said, so this movie's supposed to have a lot more additions. Like we heard about when the movie was coming out, and then it got switched to Joss Whedon. So you have Darkseid in this, which we heard was supposed to be in the movie originally. You see Granny Goodness there. I don't know who's playing Granny Goodness. I think it's just a stand-in. I don't think they said it. I think
it looks like a stand-in. I think they were trying to go for Gwendolyn Christie.
Christie. She's too young. Don't you think? She's too young.
Brienne of Darth.
You know, Kathy Bates would be a good Granny Goodness.
Yeah.
She'd be a good Granny Goodness. You see more Steppenwolf, like he kind of has a completely new design, kind of like this all gold armor design. You see the battle
it looks like Zack Snyder went to the Michael Bay School of Designing CG villains.
Yeah, like a Power Rangers vision, like Goldar. It looks like Goldar. You see the Battle of the Amazons, which we also heard about that they were going to do like this. So more expanded stuff that we saw kind of glimpses of. Yeah. Like Nick mentioned, like the whole fantasy sequence, dream sequence that Batman had that came out of nowhere. You see a lot more of the expanded scene of that, a lot more stuff of that.
And supposedly other characters coming back that were cast, but we didn't really get to see, like Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke, Amber Heard's Mera coming back in the Nightmare sequence, Cyborg, hopefully actually getting something to do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's ever gonna come back, so you better enjoy this while you can.
Enjoy this. Enjoy this press right now.
Yeah, Kiersey Clemons, she's gonna be Iris West. She's gonna be in this. We saw her initially in like the first Justice League trailer, not the Snyder Cut, but when Justice League first was supposed to be released. I think we saw a glimpse of her.
Yeah, I think she was in one of the initial trailers.
Yeah, so she's gonna see her in this as Iris West. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if that Flash movie is ever gonna come out because they've been talking about doing that Flash movie for like 5 years, 8 years.
And they get a new director every week.
Yeah, but I saw an interview.
Well, they finally started shooting it now, and they've settled on Annie Muschietti, which I think is an interesting choice. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to pan out because I feel like a lot of the success of the first It movie, at least, was just how good the source material was.
I mean, well, it's harder with comic books. I feel like adapting comic books is harder, but
speaking of,
his Flashpoint is an interesting story, but
well, since we're talking about Flashpoint anyway, we can discuss that Supergirl has been cast, is going to be cast, and she's going to be in the Flashpoint movie. What do you all think about that in terms of, do you think the movie will be too crowded? Do you think the film, because you already have like supposedly like all these, like Michael Keaton's going to be in the film as older Batman. He's possibly going to be traveling to different dimensions. I mean, where do you think she'll fit in, Supergirl, in this film?
If he's traveling to different dimensions, then I think it makes sense,
Yeah, traveling to different dimensions. When you're introducing a multiverse, you kind of have free reign to do whatever casting you want. Because, Kaye, I hope that's how you pronounce her name. If you ever listen to this, my bad. But I don't know a lot of her acting resume. She is a gorgeous actress, and she was like really excited because I think the casting was announced on like an Instagram live post that Andy Muschietti posted. It was like, congratulations, you're our Supergirl, which isn't interesting because her character is kind of in the same place as the Flash is, because we've had this television version played by Melissa Benoist for the past 5 years. We have something to compare it to, just like we do with Ezra Miller's Flash with Grant Gustin. And it'd be kind of interesting to see how they play with the multiverse in that, because in Crisis on Infinite Earths, the crossovers on the CW, Ezra Miller actually appeared as his Flash.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering if they just referenced that in this Flashpoint movie.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I wonder if they are going to briefly go into the Arrowverse in this movie. It makes sense. But I mean, it's all about balance, really. Like, just giving her something to do for however long she's in it, and making sure that she is an impactful character that kind of helps.
Do you think it's weird that they have a white Superman and then she looks Latina and then she's gonna be playing Supergirl? Do you think that's weird?
I don't give a fuck.
No, okay.
Yeah. I'm not really canon queen anymore. It's kind of like with casting, as long as there's nothing in that character's background that says they have to be this race, I do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming that her Supergirl is going to be in a different dimension, so they have full range to cast
universe,
it. However,
it'd be different if it'd be different if they suddenly announced that, we're casting Jonah Hill as Black Lightning.
Yeah,
it'd be way different.
Yeah. Supergirl is kind of like she's not. I mean, I don't want to say she's not recognizable, because at this point she is at least a B-list hero.
Yeah, she's B-list.
She's also another character that's supposed to represent pretty much just another version of Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. And just with America the way it is now, American way doesn't necessarily mean white.
Yeah. The American way is very much growing to be Hispanic, so.
Yeah. So this is from Deadline here. Sasha Cayley, or Kyla. So she's the young and the restless star.
Yeah.
Daytime Emmy nominee. Okay.
Okay. She got. I mean, it is for daytime. For
Emmy nominee.
Shit, Emmy is an Emmy.
But. I was gonna say, like, my only worry is like how good of an actress she is, because she's been on soaps for however long she's been on. Soaps because I know soaps vicariously, because I'll just walk in on my mom and she's watching them, and
I mean, in the hands of a lesser director than Andy Muschietti, I'd be a little more worried. But but even his weakest film, Mama, it still managed to have really good performances from all the actors.
That's true. He could bring it out of her.
So this is from the director, Andy Muschietti. He said, "I saw more than 400 auditions. The talent pool was truly amazing, and it was very hard to make a decision, but we finally found an actress who was destined to play this role." Can you imagine looking at 400 auditions? Wow, that is. I couldn't imagine.
Shit, that sounds fucking mind-numbing.
Especially like having to decide. All right, no, he's not doing it. Right.
And I also like that. They're not going for A-list or what we would typically expect to cast for girl.
Yeah,
I like that they're like not going with what we'd expect as far as casting goes.
Yeah. Because some people likened it to Gal Gadot being cast as Wonder Woman. Like, nobody knew who she was before Wonder Woman. They gave her the role, and they knocked it. She knocked it out of the park. For what it was and what they gave her and what she had to do. I don't think Gal Gadot is the strongest actress, to say the least, but I think she is good as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, she fits the part.
She's good.
The role.
I mean, she's a good Wonder Woman.
I think that's honestly the best way to do it, because If every movie was casted by fan casting or fan dreams, it'd probably be shit.
Yeah. So final word on the Snyder trailer. So does this make you more or less excited to see it on HBO Max? What?
I still sort of feel the same way. But you know, it was a great trailer. I just hope it's good. I don't want to shit on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say it's a really good trailer, but Zack Snyder, even if he's been more of a so-so filmmaker, he knows how to cut a trailer.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from discussing the Snyder Cut Justice League trailer, we're going to discuss Cruella, the film starring Emma Stone, Disney film. Very much a lot of people kind of liken it to vibes of Harley Quinn, Joker. Do you all get that?
Yeah, I think
vibes.
Yeah, I think whoever cut the Joker trailer is gonna sue. Like, you motherfucker.
I can see it, but
yeah, I could see comparisons to Joker, to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, and like the style, how it's filmed, and the use of music in the trailer.
I mean, so as long as the stakes aren't too corny, I'm cool with it, because it's like,
yeah, it's interesting, which is more than I can say for a lot of the live action Disney remakes. But the reason I'm excited for this is because this is directed by Craig Gillespie, and one of his previous movies was I, Tonya. Margot Robbie movie about Tonya Harding, and that was another movie where you dealt with a whole cast of unlikable, despicable people. And I'm kind of expecting this movie to be a softer edged version of that. The biggest mistake you could do with Cruella de Vil is make her a sympathetic protagonist.
Yeah.
Like, the best decision you can make is keep her fucking evil. This is a woman who wanted to murder puppies for a coat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Emma, the way Emma Stone is looking in this trailer, she's got me thinking, like, well, maybe murdering those puppies ain't so bad. You know, maybe she was doing the right thing. You know, it was cold. She was needing.
Look in her eyes and say murdering puppies ain't a bad thing. Look at her.
Well, not when it's done. Not when it's done by Emma Stone.
Look at her.
Simp.
You know, I'm sorry, Bubbles. You know what I mean? Not when it's done by Emma Stone. You know what I mean? And she's got the nice British accent going. And I mean, she's looking pretty good.
Her British accent isn't bad.
That's pretty nice, yeah. The fashion of it also has me very interested.
It's going back to like the Beatles era, the British invasion. Yeah. That's that type of style.
What do you call it's called mod, right? Like kind of
mod era fashion.
Mod, yeah, very much. Like Twiggy was a big person to come out of British fashion back then, like in the 60s, 70s. You know, Twiggy at that time with the mod fashion, and so I mean, just from that alone has me kind of interested. Like the whole look of it.
Yeah, the look.
Yeah, I like who they have directing it with Craig Gillespie and one of the writers, Craig Mazin, who wrote one of my favorite movies from a couple years ago, The Favorite, which was another movie with Emma Stone. Which again, movie dealing with unlikable characters. Which I was less curious before I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean,
when I first heard of it, I was just kind of like, why is this happening? Why is this existing? Why is Emma Stone attracted to the film? Like what made them think that this was a good idea? And now after seeing this trailer, I'm kind of just like, all right, like there's actually kind of an interesting direction they're going with it. I just hope that it's not too corny, but you know, we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, live action Disney could use a win right now.
They really could.
Oh, Paul Walter Hauser is also in this film. He was also in I, Tonya. Oh, okay. So he's probably I think I didn't see him in the trailer. Oh, actually, I did. Yeah, he's one of Cruella's henchmen.
Mm.
Oh, that makes perfect. He's a good slow motherfucker too. He plays a good slow guy really well. Like when he was in Cobra Kai, when he was in Black Klansman as one of the
shit. Even Richard Jewell.
Yeah, Richard Jewell. I remember there was a scene that made me laugh in Black Klansman. There's a scene where they're at the dinner party and then he's holding a wine glass. You know how everybody holds it kind of gently? He's got his whole fist around the stem of the wine glass, like he's an ape or something like that. It's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, this is I think it sparks interest. Do you think the bar is low for these Disney kind of remakes now that we're just accepting, like, oh, it just looks mildly different? That means that, we're kind of excited.
Mulan, fucking Lion King and Mulan just kind of lowered the bar to where just basic competence is acceptable now for the live action remakes.
And to be fair, like this was actually a good trailer. Like, like I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, if the trailer was more average, then I'd be like, no, we're just putting up with it. But no, this is actually a pretty good trailer. I don't know how they can make this a good story, but we'll see.
I don't know how they can make this a good story unless they're willing to go darker than Disney would allow.
Yeah. So I mean, when the movie comes out,
your protagonist, you're asking the audience to sympathize with a woman who wants to murder puppies.
Well, I don't know, or at least I hope the movie doesn't ask you to sympathize with her. I hope it more so kind of not that
it asks you to empathize with her.
She goes up.
No.
Maybe she goes up against a bigger villain.
Just make her entertaining to watch, without killing puppies on screen.
Yep. Do like you do with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. You always have empathy for Arthur. Yeah. You don't have sympathy. Fuck Arthur Fleck.
Yeah, high key.
Or maybe she just goes up against somebody who's even a bigger asshole than she is, and you like, even though you hate both the people, you go like, okay, well, I really want you to take her down because she's even bigger asshole than what you are. It looks like it could be kind of like a rags to riches kind of thing, where maybe she's treated, you know what I mean? So, and she kind of rises through the ranks of the fashion community of 60s London.
Yeah. Now, I don't want them to go too deep like Joker, which is why I don't want them to. I don't like the comparison because I don't think that this is the character that could really go that deep with, unless you go dark, which I don't think Disney would. I don't think the mouse is signing the check for anything dark. Aside from our actually, no, I take that back after the recent WandaVision episode, but
they're not gonna go to David Fincher levels of dark.
Yeah. They're not, and it's not gonna say anything deep or profound or anything. But I'm looking for it to at least give me a Cruella that is a charismatic protagonist that is fun to watch. Like a fun evil to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm looking for. And then also a Kingdom Hearts announcement through her for the cinematic multiverse. I wouldn't put it past Disney or Nomura.
Did they say this is going to be released on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Yep, they said Disney Plus. I don't know if they're going to do the premiere access like they did with Mulan.
Okay.
As of yet. So
this is coming out.
Knock on wood. Hope not to pay for it.
Okay.
This is coming out May 28th, so not that far away. Pretty close. It's coming out. So nice. I'm interested. It did spark interest, which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is good. All right. So moving on from discussing Cruella, gonna discuss the Mortal Kombat trailer. The trailer just dropped about a few days ago. Very exciting trailer. Got people really, really hyped for it. Finally, this is kind of the first R-rated Mortal Kombat live action Mortal Kombat movie, because the other two were PG-13, which is one big thing.
Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson's movie was PG-13, and whatever the fuck Annihilation was also PG-13.
Which is like, how do you look at the game Mortal Kombat and say, yeah, we can make that PG-13?
Well, gotta sell more tickets, appeal to 13-year-olds who are playing the game, so you can't do that. It's like,
you gotta make this a 4-quadrant movie.
Yeah. Well, we live in a different world now. We live in a society.
Fuck off.
Kids are exposed to porn at like 10. You know what I mean? Like kids. the stuff they see on the internet, the stuff they say on the internet, it's just the world.
Fucking little Timmy recognizes a Bella Danger in the streets.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, yeah. So the world is effed.
We live in a society.
But so how much do you all know about the Mortal Kombat lore? How much do you know about the history of Mortal Kombat, just like with the characters and everything like that? How much do you know?
I know the shit's stupid.
Yeah. Like most of my knowledge is very surface level, but
I don't know. It's like Shang Tsung. He like recruits warriors from all different dimensions to fight in a tournament, and like the winner gets the power to like save or destroy the world. I don't fucking know.
Which sort of sounds like how I remember playing it, because I haven't played the recent one, but back in the day, I do remember just like there being multiple timelines and different
in the
versions of characters.
Right. In the newest game, they did the old story trick of time reversal.
Yeah.
So they did that. Time travel. They did that one. So I'm a casual Mortal Kombat fan. I've been playing the new game, like it a lot. Recommend people to check it out if nobody has checked it out yet. They've added a lot more characters to it that have been pretty fun. A lot more. It's 80s throwback stuff like Terminator, RoboCop. Rambo, was playing in it as well. So a lot of 80s throwback kind of stuff, which is fun. So from my understanding, and if somebody comes on, because I'm supposed to have somebody come on who's a real big fan of Mortal Kombat, plays the game all the time. I play it with him all the time as well.
And he beats your ass?
No, he doesn't beat my ass.
He beats your ass, doesn't he?
No.
He beats your ass, doesn't he?
Josh sucks at all fighting games.
No, I don't. Yeah. We're gonna do a money match, me and Chase, on stream. Fighters and Smash money match.
Okay.
I guarantee you that watch. Okay, we're gonna see shortly.
Okay,
but so from my understanding, so Shao Kahn is the big bad of the video games. What he does is he goes around to all these different worlds and he conquers them. And in order for him not to conquer them, they have to fight in a tournament. So if if these fighters, if he wins, then that world ends up getting conquered and they have to serve now Shao Kahn. Shang Tsung works under Shao Kahn as a person who's like his, mystic guy, and he also is a person who works under him doing things like that. So I was listening to a breakdown from the director of the film, and he was going through all the trailer, IGN breakdown, the director. He was talking about how, so you see in the trailer, you see Scorpion. You see a very obvious Scorpion. Who's the guy playing Scorpion?
Hiroyuki Sanada is Scorpion. He's if I had to like draw a comparison, he's essentially like Jean-Claude Van Damme type for Japan, except a better actor here.
Okay, because I've seen him in a lot of stuff. Like he was in the season of Westworld.
Yeah, he was in Westworld. He was in Avengers Endgame.
Yes, he was in Avengers Endgame in that short sequence when he was fighting Hawkeye in Japan.
Okay.
He was in that.
And actually did all the sword fighting in both.
Oh, very nice, very cool. So with this one, you see how he's fighting where he's not the Scorpion as we know him to be yet. And the directors said that this is going to be pretty much the beginning of the film, establishing the rivalry between Scorpion and between Sub-Zero, establishing that kind of rivalry there. So that's kind of going to be the beginning of the film.
And we also get background information on how Jax got his arms.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I can't pick up ashtrays.
I don't remember that in the video games, but I liked it.
Because Jax lost his arms in a different way in the Mortal Kombat video game timeline, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how, but he's lost his arms in a different way. Go ahead.
He always ends up losing his arms, and it's even funnier because, again, it's Mehcad Brooks who's playing Jax in this, and he was in one of the greatest bad movies of the last year, A Fall from Grace. We got that iconic line of him screaming, "Ashtray, bitch!" Now, no ashtrays. No ashtray for him.
Yeah, no arms, bitch. That's what it is.
Arms, bitch!
So in this film, you have Sonya Blade, you got Jax Briggs, you got Liu Kang, you got Kung Lao, Lord Raiden, Kano, Shang Tsung, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Melina, Cabal, Nitre. So you got a lot of the big recognizable names. A lot of people also saying you've got one of the most biggest people of this entire franchise, and that is Johnny Cage. So some people are saying, maybe they're saving him for the next film, possibly if this is good, turns out to be a big success, that maybe he's going to be in the next film. Some people are speculating with the new character played by Louis Tan, Cole Young, that he might turn into Johnny Cage. Like he might, get famous. And then, because in this film, he plays like a washed up cage fighter who has like this birthmark of the Mortal Kombat insignia on his chest. So what do you think if you had any kind of speculations with this kind of audience avatar character, Cole Young, what do you all think is going to happen with this character?
I think if they actually brought Johnny Cage into this and they cast a white dude, you would have gotten the controversy of, you're bringing a white savior to overshadow this primarily Asian cast that you have in this Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
I think it would have been kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about it like that.
And with bringing Louis Tan in, you have an Asian actor, you have someone who can actually fight, and honestly, Johnny Cage has always kind of been like one of the more annoying characters in Mortal Kombat.
I like him.
And he was kind of like, I think when he was made, he was kind of a throwback to like a Jean-Claude Van Damme type, and all the jokes surrounding that character have kind of been played out already. So I like that they're going a little more serious. Also, I'm a big fan of Louis Tan, so I'm always down for anything he's in. But he looks like the least interesting character in this trailer.
Yeah, no,
that's very true.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't spend too much with him in the movie. And I hope that the tone of the film, which seems to be exactly how we were kind of hoping it, except maybe a little bit funnier.
Because the tone in this, because I have this debate all the time. There's a difference between playing it super serious, like super dark and serious. There's playing it straight with light touches, and then there's just taking the piss out of it. This looks like it's playing it straight with like little touches of humor. But it's also not taking itself too seriously.
Yeah, because you got the one-liners, you got like the crazy dramatic deaths and body dismemberment. You have a dude getting stabbed with his own blood. Let's go. That's the Mortal Kombat that I wanted to see. So what I'm hoping is that the sort of tone of the film, and I'm cool with the tone overshadowing the story on this one, because that's not the purpose of the movie. The purpose of the movie isn't to have this complex, super well-written narrative with a protagonist that learns the meaning of life.
Fuck that.
This movie's supposed to be a meathead gore fest. So I hope they go with that.
I think some of the most interesting stuff in the film will be between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Which is always kind of the case, especially in last year, Warner's Animation, they released this movie, Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge, where it was pretty much making Scorpion the main character of that movie and focusing on like his rivalry with Sub-Zero. That movie was fucking awesome.
Yes,
and I feel like this movie is kind of going for a similar tone with that, especially with like you said, with that scene with Sonata's Scorpion in the trailer, and how the director's saying that's more or less going to be the beginning of the movie. I hope that more focus is placed on Scorpion than it is with Cole Young and the rest of the cast.
Yes.
So you also see Goro here as well, big Mortal Kombat character. So just discussing like the fight stuff in the film, you see a lot of stuff replicated from the video game. You see the scene where Sub-Zero like throws Scorpion into an ice wall. Like that's one of his special moves in the video game. You see the scene where Liu Kang comes up with the dragon, out of the fire. That's like one of his fatalities in the game, or actually not fatalities. That's one of his finishers in the game, actually, where he summons a dragon and he has them come down. So you see a lot of stuff kind of like that from that they translated over, which is nice. That they're doing that. You know what I mean? It doesn't look corny as well.
Yeah.
This film being in 2021, obviously special effects have advanced a lot since when they did the first Mortal Kombat, which was way back in the 90s. So things look a lot better.
Yeah.
Which was a big benefit. Like even just if you compare the way Goro looks in this to the way Goro looked, you know what I mean, when he was in Mortal Kombat, completely different.
Yeah, Goro is a character that I do not think works when you try to do him practically.
Yeah, I mean, in Mortal Kombat, Goro looked like a Ninja Turtle. I mean, what
they tried.
They tried. But I mean, there's a lot of really great elements here. It looks fun as hell. It definitely looks fun as hell.
Yeah,
to enjoy.
That's the best thing you can hope for a movie like this. Just get as bloody, as gory, as violent as you want, as long as it's fun.
Yep.
Is there anything that disappointed you in the trailer?
Not that I can think of. I mean,
initially when I first watched the trailer, because you had to have that iconic "Get over here" line.
Yeah.
Which when I first listened to it, it took me aback because it's Sanada-san. He speaks English, but there's always but he still has a little bit of the accent, and I feel like the mask is kind of muffling his voice. But on a second viewing, nah, that shit's badass, actually.
Did you have any gripes with it?
I
loved it.
I didn't really like the way Melina looked all the way, but I think they said that she's gonna more turn into the Melina that we know. There are a lot of characters who are gonna turn into the characters we all know, like Kano. Kano was probably the most fun character I think I saw in this trailer. This would have been a great character played by Jai Courtney. I mean, I'm surprised Jai Courtney didn't snap up this role, because it's like essentially him playing Captain Boomerang again.
Schedule conflict.
Yeah, so
scheduling conflict.
Schedule
conflict. James Gunn snatched that ass.
With all these sort of background scenes, I think they're gonna do Mortal Kombat sort of justice, because that's kind of just how the game sort of feels. Get all these different characters' backgrounds before you fight as them and what. And
I feel like especially just that IGN breakdown, you have a director unlike Paul W.S. Anderson, who just cherry picks elements from the games and then shoves his wife in it to show off how hot she is. And you have somebody who loves and respects and understands the lore of these of the Mortal Kombat games. Even down to just recreating the moves from the game. Just like that game with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, how just amazing that is choreographed. And also fucking Joe Taslim and Hiroyuki Sanada being A-tier players in a big budget Hollywood movie that's being released in the States. That is goddamn.
Yeah. I'm rooting for it.
And pretty much all of these actors who for a majority of their career, they're more or less stunt performers, guys that you don't see their faces, you don't get to see them act. Even when you do, it's in stuff where you're not really focused on story or their acting. Even Lewis Tan, as much as I like him, Wu Assassins, that show story-wise kind of even Into the Badlands, that show is badass, but the story is kind of weak on there.
Yeah. I never saw Into the Badlands. I did see Wu Assassins, and the fighting was good, but then they started talking, and then just kind of ruined the effect.
I love Into the Badlands.
All right. Can we move this along? Yeah. Every time they started talking, it's all right. Come on. Can we move?
It was,
and even on that show, he was even on Wu Assassins, Lewis Tan and Byron Man, they were both giving the best performances on the show.
Well, for me, Into the Badlands is like the perfect show to just have in the background while you're doing something, because it'll like have these like at least like 10 to 20 minutes of just like pointless lore sort of setup stuff, like stuff that you don't really care about, and then around the 20 to 30 minute marker, it's straight action.
To get back to the Mortal Kombat trailer, one good thing also the director said is that a lot of this stuff is also practical. So a lot of the locations they go to, those all kind of real locations. Like you see the scene where Melina is walking, and you see kind of like all these kind of dunes and stuff like that. So I think he said that was like an Australian mine or something like that, or somewhere in Australia. So a lot of the stuff
it doesn't surprise me that they filmed in Australia, because that's pretty much James Wan's backyard, because he's one of the executive producers on this.
Yeah, one of the executive producers. So yeah, I mean, exciting trailer. We're all looking forward to seeing it April 16th.
It was my number 3 most anticipated, and it still fucking is.
Yeah,
and you're definitely gonna see us review it.
Absolutely. All right. So moving on from discussing that, we're gonna discuss quick news real quick. Marvel has gotten back the rights of Punisher and Jessica Jones from Netflix. So a lot of people happy to see that.
Bubbles, crab dance, yeah.
So with this announcement, do you all think that they're likely to kind of just recast the characters and bring them back another thing? Because there's a slight rumor I heard that they may bring back Jessica Jones and She-Hulk. Like they may bring her in there. There's a slight rumor I heard about that. There's a lot of people who've been calling for Charlie Cox, Daredevil, to be back, and the Spider-Man films with him playing Daredevil. People loved him as Charlie Cox. The Punisher, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how really people felt much about John Barenthal. I thought he was okay as Punisher. I thought he was solid.
I feel like in comparison to the other two, he was kind of he was the Punisher that best fit into a bigger universe, because Thomas Jane, he was like kind of really self-serious. I don't blame him so much as the movie he was in. And Ray Stevenson, he was the cartoony, just straight up Garth Ennis comic book Punisher, which I love that movie. I know it's terrible though.
Yeah. I mean, really, when you think about it, because I mean, the director from that Ray Stevenson film, she was kind of drawn really mainly from the comics of the kind of a comic run from the Punisher that she was really adapting.
Pretty much every Punisher adaptation, they've all taken cues from Garth Ennis's Welcome Back, Frank.
Yeah. So to see them back with this again, maybe you could do a thing with Punisher, where he's the one that maybe hunts down Spider-Man. Possibly, you know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to do that. You could do a thing where they do bring back Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. A lot of people have been calling back for that. Just to see what they do with these kind of the Punisher and with Jessica Jones now, and now that they have a lot of the Netflix roster from the shows that they did, shows that people did find very popular, except for Iron Fist mainly, and the Defenders. The Defenders that a lot of people were lukewarm on as well. So what do you hope for Marvel to do with these characters now that they have them back again from Netflix?
I feel like if there was ever a time to get them back, this is kind of the best opportunity for them to use them, because if they got them back and started using them in the days when like Civil War was coming out, then you would have had these kind of like B tier street level heroes going up against like the Vision and fucking Thanos, which come on.
Right.
Come on, Thanos would have just stepped on all of them and watched it.
Yeah.
And now that you have like a more expansive playground on Disney Plus, most of the shows are focusing on the lesser known characters like She-Hulk, like Miss Marvel, Hawkeye with Kate Bishop. You have the opportunity to introduce these street level guys. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they wanted to do like season 2 of Hawkeye, you introduce the Punisher, or if they brought in Jessica Jones and say Daredevil into one of the Spider-Man movies. You have such a big playground to use these guys now.
Now, my only concern is I hope that they keep Charlie. They gotta keep Charlie. And also I hope that they, with these additions coming back into their rights, that they don't make them PG-13. I want them to keep the same maturity level if they do get like if Daredevil gets another season, that is of the same maturity level, same producers. I'm cool. All aside from a certain somebody that we won't. But but you know, everybody but him is involved.
Well, even like that. even when Daredevil was at its heights, there was nothing on there that got to the level where I couldn't see this being on like a Disney Plus or something.
You think so?
Well, here's the thing.
His Kingpin.
Minus
a dude's head.
minus a certain head removal.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say. With Disney Plus,
but even that scene, it was mostly off camera. You don't really see that much gore.
But with Disney Plus, so Disney also acquired Hulu, which a lot of people thought like, okay, well, they're going to take all their R-rated, kind of more adult, mature content and put it on Hulu. So Hilary Duff, she was going to come back and she was going to do a reboot of her show, you know, Lizzie McGuire. And, you know, there was a lot of talks of her bringing back the production of that show. And I'm bringing up that because they were like, okay, well, it's going to be on Disney Plus. But then Disney Plus, the thing is, a lot of people didn't, you know, the creators of the show said that, well, now the project is kind of in limbo because it's like, well, if you're going to tell the life about a now adult Lizzie McGuire, a 30-plus-year-old woman, it's going to be adult situations. You know, it's going to be talking about probably sex and her dating life and all those things like that. But they didn't want it on the Disney Plus platform. So even though
probably end up being like Master of None, but like with women,
pretty much or something like that. Because, you know, I would love to see like kind of now an adult Lizzie McGuire, especially with the whole breaking the fourth wall kind of type of thing with her animated self. Now it's kind of like more of an adult woman, but they said like, well, you know, they didn't want that on that platform. And then they also had a situation with Love, Simon, where that was also they said that didn't get put on Disney Plus. Where, you know, if people know the story of Love, Simon, that was like a film and then it became a television show. And I think it was a situation of bringing the television show, and I think it was called Love something else. It was like a different
it was called Love, Victor. It was the same story as the movie, but just with a different actor.
And it was all about it was a romantic, you know, kind of show, but with a gay character, with a gay man. And they didn't want that on the platform as well. Disney Plus, that wouldn't have, you know, that apparently wasn't allowed on the Disney Plus platform either. So I don't know if they are going to utilize having Hulu, and they haven't utilized it yet to put out kind of like R-rated stuff. They said Deadpool's going to be R-rated, but that's a film. So they also said they're going to stick true to that with Deadpool 3. So I don't know if they do kind of do more seasons with these characters, because I don't know. I think Jessica Jones, she had 3 seasons, correct?
Yeah, she had 3 seasons, and the way her show wrapped up, it was kind of like really final.
Did she?
Yeah.
I thought she had 2.
She had 3 seasons.
She had 3, because I remember it was 2 seasons where it was with Kilgrave, and the 1 season with the incel guy.
I still haven't seen it. I gotta confess, I haven't seen the 2nd or 3rd season of Jessica Jones. She did. After Kilgrave, she just didn't hit for me.
Yeah. I mean, the first season was really great with David Tennant's Kilgrave, and it was a great villain. Then it got kind of wild with, you know, her friend Beth and then all this stuff. But that's
yeah, it's like the more those shows went on, the more you realize, yeah, you really don't need 13 episodes.
Yeah.
This show could be wrapped up in like 10 or 8.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any more material for Jessica Jones you can mine. I mean, I'd like her being additions on other shows, like if she was on She-Hulk or if she was on Miss Marvel or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think best case scenario, these Netflix heroes become more characters in the grander MCU.
I'm cool with that. I mean, I do want to see more of Daredevil, but I'm cool if it's just, you know, like side material for now.
Yeah,
it makes sense. It's probably the easiest way to just sort of reintroduce everybody. So
all right, so moving on from that news, we're gonna get into a music review. Music review for music. I meant movie review for the title music. My bad. So this is the Sia film, steeped in much controversy. If people spend time on the internet. If you don't know, the film is facing a lot of controversy for the way Sia portrays people with autism in the film, because the movie deals with the titular character that does have autism. Kate Hudson who plays the alcoholic older half sister of the titular character Music, who's played by Maddie Ziegler. It was kind of funny because somebody said that Kate Hudson in this film Music looks like Bobby Hill. That was kind of funny because in the film she has like this completely shaved head in the film, and also starring Leslie Odom Jr., who we just saw do amazingly well in One Night in Miami playing.
That was him.
Yep, as Sam Cooke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Motherfucker orbited himself.
I didn't even recognize the brother. I could have seen him on the street, and I wouldn't even know it was him.
All right, cover your ears, Bubbles, because Daddy's about to lose his shit.
So I only saw half the movie. I didn't get a chance to finish it. So did Chase. Nick is the only one.
Hey! It wasn't that I didn't get a chance to. It was I purposely.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Chase and Nick kind of take it off here because I only finished halfway through, so I couldn't. I was busy, couldn't finish all of it. So I'm gonna let you guys take it and explain and give your thoughts on the film.
I feel like I have a lot less to say than you, Nick. But talking before the film, from a narrative standpoint, this joint is terrible. And I asked you questions about like whether or not they did anything with the titular character, the character that you would assume would be the protagonist. And it sounds like they just kind of just made a stereotypical portrayal of a character and just kept it like that. Which is exactly what it is.
Something that everybody involved in this movie should have watched prior to writing it, prior to like setting the fucking call time. Watch that scene from Tropic Thunder. It's like Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, autistic, sure, not retarded. Tom Hanks, slow, yes, retarded, maybe, braces on his legs, but the man won a ping pong competition and chomped the pants off next to him? That ain't retarded. He's a goddamn war hero. You know any retarded war heroes? This fucking movie, this shit went full retard.
Yeah, no, this was stupid. Like, this was
honestly... God, this was Maddie Ziegler. I don't want to blame the actor.
Yeah.
But in interviews, you say you research the role by looking up YouTube videos of autistic children freaking out that their parents posted. Fuck you. Fuck this movie. This is just the most blatantly Oscar baity pieces of shit I've ever seen. This is back in the days of the early 2000s when every actor thought they could get an Oscar nod just by playing retarded. This movie is fucking white radio.
Yeah, no, this joint sucks ass. Like, just straight up. I mean, like, the first, and I was gonna give it a pass because like some of the dance numbers are actually kind of decent.
I will give it, the dance numbers are decent. The music is actually,
there was one dance number. Wait, what are you about to say?
The music and the dance numbers are actually really interesting, really good. However, for a movie that's supposedly about the autistic community, half this shit is gonna give people fucking seizures watching this.
And also,
this is like sensory fucking overload, and none of the music applies to anything that is going on in the plot. Not even any of the lyrics to any of the songs. If you wanted to make a bunch of music videos, make some fucking music videos.
Yeah, no.
Don't package them all together into a feature-length movie.
So do you think just cut away? My bad, Josh. But to continue on about the music videos, they will just literally be just chilling in the living room, and out of nowhere it just cuts to a music video without any setup, no warning, no white like flashing on the screen. It's just like bam, you're in a music video now, and it sucks.
Yeah, even like the worst jukebox musicals, like fucking Rock of Ages, even the songs they used, they had something to do with what was going on in the plot.
Yeah.
Was it good? No, but there was like some narrative thread still going on.
So do you think she should have did something more like Beyonce's Black is King? Do you think she should have did something more like that? Or like,
if it was,
I think she should have saw the reel, just said, "Nah, this shit's ass." Threw it in a dumpster and lit the shit on fire.
Yeah, because
so nobody would have to see this bullshit.
Like, honestly, I don't know how you looked at that script and said, like, yo, this is it. Because, like, all right, so it's one thing to have your... And she's not even the protagonist. She's honestly just a prop. And I think that's the most disgusting thing about
that's
the film.
the biggest insult. That's the biggest insult of this injury. You have music, the titular character of this movie, and after 10 minutes, she is not a character in this movie at all.
Yeah.
She is just a stage prop to use for Kate Hudson's alcoholic character to feel better about herself. That is her entire purpose for existing in this movie.
Yeah, and it's gross because, I mean, like, granted, I don't have anybody in my family or that autistic or, you know, just neurologically what's the politest way to say it?
Neurologically challenged or differently abled. But yeah, this movie is fucking dangerous. First of all, it's like their depictions of the scene of them holding music down when she's having a freak out, which is dangerous and fucking illegal to do. You do not hold a person freaking out like that down like the way they do in this movie. People have died being held down like this.
Yeah, and that was like the character that was supposed to be the mentorish figure doing this, which is one of the most stupidest things ever. One of the most stupidest introductions ever to a character.
However,
magical...
one of the only moments that I actually got a laugh out of this movie, she does a freak out in a public place, and Kate Hudson like asks him to, "Hey, do the thing again." I ain't doing that shit in the fucking public.
Yeah, so you have Leslie, unfortunately, playing the magical Negro savior character. That is a trope that we have addressed before.
God damn it, Leslie! You could have gotten an Oscar nom, and you fucking norbited yourself.
Yeah, now we know why. It's not gonna happen.
You did yourself norbited.
Jesus, dude. And the accent, the Ghanaian, I didn't see. That's the thing. I didn't even recognize it was him. That's how bad he looked just in this movie. And then also the accent was terrible. I don't know if he has any. I don't know if he has any family from Ghana to, like, you know, look at for you know, to study, but like, dude, bro, you needed a coach on that joint. That accent was rough. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, and the most insulting thing is you have a talent like Leslie Odom Jr.
Yeah.
And he is great in the dance numbers, I will give him that. But you have this Tony Award winning Broadway actor and singer, and he hardly gets any musical numbers in this movie, which in hindsight is probably a good thing.
To answer your question again though, Josh, and I sent this in the group chat, what they should have done, and if Sia really cared about the autistic community, what she should have done was just drop the musical numbers as an album, and then all the proceeds go to programs that benefit special needs, you know, special needs schools. Those always
special needs schools, special needs education,
Yeah, and you know, left the parts that she obviously does not comprehend aside, and just not even touch them. Don't even think about it.
So,
write what you know next time, Sia.
I want to. I
just don't know this.
Also, a bigger question as well. So, seeing autism being portrayed, probably I think a lot more in movies and TV shows. Like you have situations like with Ben Affleck and The Accountant, or you know when he's like a master assassin, or you had Jacob Tremblay when he was in Predators, where he played this super genius autistic character. You also have a TV show called The Good Doctor, where it focuses on autistic doctor. Do you think that the portrayal of people with autism in media right now is a good, accurate depiction? Do you think it's a depiction that is fair. I mean, given I don't know if you all have seen those other depictions of people with autism, like Ben Affleck, The Accountant, like with Jacob Tremblay in Predators, like The Good Doctor.
I feel like when you're depicting autism, when you yourself are not an autistic actor, you have to be very fucking careful to not cross the line into parody. Like even the situations you brought up, even though the portrayals are, from what I've heard, very accurate to being on the autism spectrum. And again, it's a spectrum. There are many different forms of it. There are people who are on the level that music is portrayed here. And there are others where you're more on the level of someone like Ben Affleck in The Accountant or The Good Doctor, or even lower key examples like Abed on Community.
Right.
And I mean, even the people that are on the level that music is even attempting to portray, they are a lot more functional and a lot more, or at least the few people that I've met that I've seen at that level. They are like, I feel like watching this was just so gross to me, because I felt like it was just a slap in their faces. Because even though like I felt disgusted and I needed a shower after watching this movie. Yeah, because but I mean, to go back to your point, Josh, from what I've seen of The Good Doctor, it seems as though that even though he has those, he has those social issues, he's learning as the story progresses, and that's kind of like the main thing that this movie misses. Music does not develop at all. She's not the protagonist of this film. She's just a prop for somebody else to get their development. And as long and I think, granted, I personally do not know anybody with autistic that well enough to portray them that well. But one thing that you must do as a writer is, if you're going to have a protagonist, they have to learn something. They have to grow. Right. And that's like the one thing that you should ask a writer to do. And they do not do this at all. So that's what I feel like is the grossest thing about it, because not only do they not like allow the quote unquote protagonist to do anything and to grow, but they also portray her as this sort of parody joke, of a real life situation that people go through. This joint ass. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Wow.
This is one of the most misguided fucking movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I would feel better about it if Sia and the entire cast showed like some regret, showing like, hey, yeah, this we didn't mean to portray it like this, our bad. But nah, she went on the fucking defensive. Fuck this movie.
I think I did see Sia put out a tweet saying that she should have listened to more of the right people, and then she's sorry. I think I did see a tweet where she said that. I think it was kind of recent.
This joint ass.
She wouldn't be saying that if like she got the reception that she obviously expected, because I'm doing a movie about fucking autism.
And why the fuck did the Golden Globes eat this up and put this in a nom?
I guess they like Sia. They said chandelier slaps. So
how much fucking money did Sia throw the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to buy those nominations? This movie is some fucking bullshit. This shit belongs back in the fucking 90s, in the graveyard of the 90s with fucking I Am Sam. Fuck this movie, 0 out of 10. And this is a rare thing that for this show, I doubt I will ever give another movie 0. No movie has ever made me as angry as this one has.
Yeah. No,
let's move on before I fucking pop a blood vessel.
They should have put Scare Me in its nomination category.
Damn, boy, you and Scare Me. Jesus Christ.
It's not just me. We pushing.
Yeah, fucking throw Kate Hudson's nomination away. Give that to Kristen Milioti. She's actually fucking good.
Yeah. Dude, they snubbed her. I don't know why that. Who saw this movie and said this was it? There were so many people that had to watch this movie. Editors, assistant editors. The script had to be reviewed.
And nobody said, you know.
So
agents sat here, read it, showed the actors this, and they were all like, "Yo, this is it."
So you all didn't even like the music sequences, the dance.
The music sequences were decent, but what we're saying is that the story, it as a film, trash, terrible.
When you're making a movie, you cannot just have a series of fucking musical numbers. That's why stuff like fucking Cats and Rock of Ages. That's why movie musicals like that do not work, because there's no through line connecting any of the music to an actual plot going forward. And it's the same situation here.
Yeah, no, get it out of here. Let's talk about WandaVision.
All right, so moving on from discussing music here, we're gonna discuss the latest episode of WandaVision. After that exciting last episode there of WandaVision, where she saved Vision by expanding the hex. We see now in this episode, Vision's all good. He's safe. We also saw when Darcy got swallowed up by the hex. Unfortunately, Darcy did not play her character from Two Broke Girls, unfortunately, like everybody would.
It was a little sad to see that, but I like what they did here.
Yeah, she plays an escape artist, because as we saw before, like when she expanded the hex and turned all the sword agents into becoming a part of it, they all became like circus, clowns and part of the circus and things like that. So she was an escape artist, and she was looking really good in the nice escape artist outfit and everything like that, looking very, very, thick, as they say.
I noticed. To go back to that though, I think the reason why they made her
Dennington's fine as hell. Let's move. She's an escape artist because she was handcuffed when the hex expanded.
So that was really good. I thought that was kind of funny. So this theme of this episode is Modern Family, the talking to the camera, the mockumentary style, The Office. The intro even is a nod to like The Office and everything like that, the way it is, opens and everything like that.
Even down to having like the twinkling of the piano, and then you get the more synth music.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice. That was really good. So more of the mockumentary style that we've seen more in modern stuff, like that, which is kind of cool, because like people like Catherine Hahn, she was a part of Parks and Recreations. She was on that show, which was a big, mockumentary type show, very, very funny as well. We'll talk more about her, of course, in this series. So we see. So again, it's more. This episode was kind of more committed to the sitcom element of doing kind of the parody than I think the prior two episodes were. I think with I think the last episode with the Malcolm in the Middle tribute, I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty dedicated to the theme of that. But the episode prior, I didn't think was so, because like the episode prior was more kind of like, it kind of funneled through the 90s pretty quick, and then introduced kind of more early 2000s to get into more of the 2010 stuff. So this was really good. You see Vision and Darcy hook up, where you see them kind of talking, because he knows who Darcy is. He knows who she is, and he snaps her out of it, which brings back her memories of who she was, and she breaks it down all to Vision of what happened to him, the whole history.
Yeah, she pretty much recaps Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And she was like, so, crazy things happen.
Which I'm a little sad that we still haven't gotten Michael Pena as Luis recapping the MCU. Come on,
now that would
be Kevin Feige. Do you hate? Come on, Kevin Feige. Do you hate money?
That'd be a really nice thing. Yeah,
I love their interactions throughout this. They were almost my favorite thing about it.
The highlight of this episode, up until the very end, was the interaction between Vision and Darcy.
Yeah. I mean, even their interaction before he jogs her memory, because the way she's thinking about it is like, was this like a drunk
clown that's hitting on her?
Yeah. Or a clown, yeah. Because he's in the because they all think it's makeup. So he fits right in.
Another really great thing is, so we see a follow up on the outside of the Hex where Monica Rambeau and Jimmy Woo they finally meet up with her aerospace person. Not Reed Richards. A lot of people were hoping for Reed Richards, which I never thought it was going to be him. Don't know why people thought they were going to introduce a character that big in this TV show. Don't know why. Nick, you were going to say something?
I never thought that it was going to be anyone that big, but I thought it would have been someone that we've met before in the MCU. But
yeah.
Okay, but I feel like that would have distracted from some of the bigger reveals later in the episode.
Yeah.
When Monica actually goes through the Hex again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I'm actually kind of happy that they didn't just shoehorn Reed Richards right then and there, because that would have been kind of awkward. But
right, yeah. I thought he was way too big of a character for him to be introduced.
If he was to be introduced, it'd have to be at that point where the Luke Skywalker-esque cameo comes. So if we're still getting that,
well, still got 2 more episodes.
Yeah,
to get that.
We'll see.
So as Nick mentioned, Monica goes back into the Hex. At first, she tries to put on a full suit like she's traveling to Mars or something, or outer space. Got a whole kind of truck just ready to kind of charge into the Hex, but it rejects her, and she just decides to run in anyway. And as you see, when she's running through the Hex, she's being literally kind of split apart. And you hear voiceovers of dialogue from Captain Marvel, from her mother, from Brie Larson. So you kind of hear that dialogue kind of running as she's going through the Hex and she's being kind of split apart. Now it's pretty much official as she gets through the Hex, and when she meets Wanda, she has powers.
Yep.
It's official now. She has powers. That's full on display.
She has become Spectrum. I think is the reveal they're going for, because it's like when she exits the Hex, she sees what I think is pretty much the full electromagnetic spectrum in her eyesight.
Oh, okay. So that's her superhero, not Photon. I thought it was Photon.
That character, it's been either or. I think that character is either or.
Okay. All right. So Spectre, Photon, either or. So you see that now. It's funny also because before that happens, you see WandaVision kind of the trials of motherhood have weighed on her. You know what I mean? At some point, we're finally seeing the cracks in Wanda's facade, which Elizabeth Olsen is nailing perfectly. Yeah.
Especially because what the amazing thing about the show is every single sitcom they've nailed, they've gotten the tropes down to the cinematography. They've nailed it perfectly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Even how sitcoms have viewed mother characters over the years. In the 2010s, we finally started to see the cracks.
Yeah.
They're fucking people too.
that whole snap when she's talking to the boys and she's just going on about how
I don't have the answers.
I don't have the answers. That was so funny but so sad.
Because you see in this episode, things are just changing, and Wanda doesn't even know why they're changing. The furniture is changing back to the old sets that we saw, from the 50s and the 60s and 70s.
The fucking milk that she's getting out of the fridge, it's shifting eras as she's pouring it. It starts as almond milk, and then it turns a glass bottle, and then a carton with a missing kid on the side of it.
She's eating the good cereal, sugar smacks. Sugar snaps. Good cereal. Very, very good cereal that she's eating there. Also, good commercial that we all see. The commercial that has the depression pill that has 80 different symptoms. You know what I mean? That says hey, I'm gonna take this drug, and then the commercial is may experience depression, may experience sleeplessness, may experience drowsiness, may experience, you may be blind in one eye. It's why the hell would I ever take this drug? What the you
and the name of the pill in the commercial is called Nexus. And that's referring to, in the comics, Wanda, she's In the comic, she's referred to as a Nexus being, meaning that she's one of the few characters that's capable of rewriting reality.
Yeah.
And Nexus is also kind of like this center point of the multiverse where all the ripples start to trickle out.
Yeah. I was surprised to see that reveal so casual. You know? But I'm glad that we're finally here with the multiverse and just like her truly stepping into rewriting everything.
Yeah. So you see, now, Wanda's stressed out with the boys. Catherine Hahn as Agnes, she comes over, takes the boys. I'll take them off your hands, spend time with them a little bit so you can have some more, some me time.
Which that fucking cutaway of hers was so good. It's like, I actually bit a kid once, which is a line that takes an entirely different turn once the reveal happens.
Yeah. Now I believe it. That wasn't a joke. That was a threat.
Wanda, Vision, and Darcy, they're trying to make it back to Vision's home, and they're both being impeded in their directions home. And it's just funny, the Vision, he gives a great, Jim Halper, John Krasinski look to the camera, that classic, looking at the camera.
Yes, the best thing about the show is it finally realized, yeah, Paul Bettany can be funny.
Yeah,
because he's amazing in this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they do that
even down to when he does his I don't know what it's called. It's like his interview to the camera. He's like sitting in a director's chair with the fucking mic stuff.
Yeah,
like his lapel.
That was really great. That was like such a really great moment. And then he just finally realized, like, wait, I can fly. Like, why the fuck am I taking a car? Oh, duh, I can just fly.
It just leaves Darcy.
Because like it didn't even dawn on me that like, oh yeah, why is he in the car again? Until he actually brings it back up, because it's like it's been like at least 10 minutes you're hanging out with them, going through all these, like, they're getting blocked by schools of kids, they're getting blocked by construction, they're getting blocked by literally anything that could exist.
So the big reveal of this episode is that probably what a lot of people figured, Catherine Hahn is the villain, Agnes Harthus. You see when Monica tries to confront Wanda, tries to get her to come back from the edge. Wanda at first, she's scary, she's coming at Monica, and then a moment where Monica just kind of rips out the power. You see her eyes kind of
speaking of memes coming into pop culture, we get the fucking lady screaming at the cat meme.
Yeah.
Because she went full Karen on Monica. She was like,
oh yeah. So you see Catherine Hahn's character come out, grab Wanda, bring it in her house, and then she's wondering what the boys are. Very kind of, that moment kind of reminded me a little bit of It in chapter 2, the scene where Jessica Chastain goes over to the elderly woman's house, and you think it is, and it's just kind of creeping her out, and she just starts noticing, like, maybe I should just kind of wonder, like, hey, where are the boys, and maybe I should get out of here. And as she goes down to the
this show, this episode particularly, this show has always been really good at balancing the sitcom tone with the horror, and this episode, chef's kiss. God damn. Especially because something I noticed is, like, whenever it was like sitcom world, it was always in like widescreen. You could see it was always full screen, excuse me. You could you couldn't see the borders, and when they went to the real world, then the borders start coming back in.
Yeah. And very good at changing
the aspect ratios.
Yeah.
And you barely even notice it. And I find, and especially when she starts going down in the basement, we're back in widescreen again.
Yeah. So it gets revealed that, she's the one that's been pulling the strings. Pietro was her. She killed Sparky, you know what I mean?
Which the reveal happens, and you flash back through all the episodes, and a really catchy actual theme song, where it was Agatha All Along.
Yeah.
And then very Monsters throwback, and then you get the reveal. She killed Sparky too.
Yeah.
And then the maniacal witch's laugh, which, yeah, that song was actually kind of catchy until that reveal happened. You monster!
I mean, they did borrow the monster on this. So.
Did you all see the mid-credits scene?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Pulls up on Monica. So now I'm kind of with you, Nick, on the Mephisto or Dormammu or whoever else Pietro could be, besides from actually Pietro. Because, if he was just a manifestation, I feel like, of either Wanda or Agnes, I feel like by now he might have disappeared, So I think he is his own, character that we will.
Maybe she's just using him as a minion, just.
I mean, that could happen too. That could happen too.
I think Pietro might be Ralph.
Yeah.
Her husband, and she's more or less using him as a puppet. Because in like the reveal you get where it flashes back to that reveal is like her purple magic in the back, and in the background is her winking at the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it could be Ralph finally. That's her husband all along. You know what I mean? So it could be him. So what do you all think next episode? Do you think next episode Vision saves Wanda? Next episode, like he comes in, saves it. Do you think kids? I think kids are dead.
I think next episode we're gonna get. I think we're pretty much done with the sitcoms as for the next 2 episodes, and now we're getting straight up MCU. And this episode we're probably gonna get Agatha revealing what her endgame is. And then towards the end, Vision rescues Wanda, and now the final episode, we have the big fight.
Yeah.
The big fight between Sword and Wanda.
Between Wanda and Agatha.
Well, I mean, there still is that third party. Is the director? It's revealed in this episode as well. Well, it was revealed prior, right? The previous episode that the director's main goal was to just get Vision out because he is technically a weapon of mass destruction.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's gonna have to happen eventually. So I think it's gonna. I don't know how or if Agatha gets dealt with next episode. I hope not, honestly. But I think it's going to be a situation where Wanda and Vision are kind of having to face both sides at once. However, Agatha plans on twisting it,
Okay. So do you think the boys are dead? Or they just got transformed into something else, or
do they ever die in the comics?
I wonder if she transformed them into the rabbits, because in the comics, Agatha Harkness, she pretty much stopped the twins from ever existing, and that was the catalyst for Wanda creating the House of M.
So in the comics, Agatha is a mutant.
Agatha is another mutant, another magic user. I think she's another master of the mystic arts, like with pretty much on the same level of Doctor Strange. And I wonder if that plays a role in this too. I wonder if she's potentially another survivor of Strucker's experiments. If she's another Strucker baby, because I go back to the commercials and okay, we got the mention of the Hydra Soak, we got the mention of Strucker, and I wonder if they play into Agnes's backstory as well.
Yeah. Because it's also revealed that she is literally behind everything, directing it low key. Like,
she's the one giving the interview to Wanda.
Yeah,
she's the one interviewing her. Yeah. So it is established that Wanda did create the Hex. She did create it. She did set up this whole 50s kind of world, and then that's when Agatha came in and then implemented her stuff into it, and then that's when she was doing all that stuff. So the change of settings from like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, that's all Wanda, correct? Right? That's Wanda, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so. This episode, I think it confirmed that the changing of the settings and the at least with her house, it's Wanda.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the world is Wanda's, but the reason why things are
all the people are Agnes.
Yeah, well, I don't think all the people per se are true. All the people could be Agnes. Actually, I take that back. Because they don't,
or at least all the kidnapped people are Agatha's victims.
Or Agatha. But I do think that there is some power draining going on between Agatha and Wanda, because, you know, as we see in this episode, her powers are starting to see the cracks where they're changing decades uncontrollably, and she doesn't have the answers for it. So I think Agatha, to some degree, is draining her powers. I don't know what for.
Yep. I think she's snacking on Yo Magic.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to bring that up. Yeah, no, it's definitely a case of that.
And she's the one that's been trying to drive a wedge between Vision and Wanda.
Yeah.
She's the one that makes him aware of all those things. Like with her, we see that she was the one that made him cut into the bricks and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe she's the one causing all this despair in people and kind of, sadness and all this other stuff, anger and all these other things. Maybe.
Yeah. No, she definitely does control the people. Because I mean, they even do that in the in her song where she's touching herb or whatever, with the magic juice. So now I this was like, if you've been on the internet or if you've watched any reviews on WandaVision, this is a reveal that you saw coming, but just not the execution.
The
execution was unpredictable as hell.
I put the reveal of this on the same level of the reveal in Captain America: Winter Soldier. It was like anybody who read the Winter Soldier comic, anybody who even looked up the IMDb, they knew that Bucky was gonna be the Winter Soldier. Yeah, but what makes that reveal work is the execution of it. And I think that's the same situation here with Agatha as the real villain behind everything going on.
Yeah, and kudos to Catherine, because that was like one of the best villain reveals in Marvel history.
And come on, let's get Catherine Hahn that Emmy, because goddamn,
she deserves it. She definitely deserves it.
I mean, do you guys have any more to say about the episode?
I can't wait for the next one.
This might be my favorite episode of the whole series.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely curious to rewatch the previous episodes, confirm knowing that Agatha is behind everything.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how that kind of changes how I view the previous episode.
Same. I'm saying with you all. Excited to see the next episode. Definitely when it's done, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like just binge watching it and from beginning to end, just seeing if there's even a little bit more clues and hints like that. It's funny watching.
I'm also curious to see how this plays into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because I feel like with an actress on the caliber of Catherine Hahn, it'd be kind of a shame to just have her in this one and done property, which is sadly a case for the majority of the villains in the MCU.
Right. Well, it depends if they die or not. Depends, because sometimes, I mean, Marvel, you never know. Characters can always come back. Like with the case with the Jimmy Woo character, I was watching an interview with Randall Park. He was saying like, I mean, I thought I was done after Ant-Man 2. Then all of a sudden I got the call to do this, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? You know what I mean? We also still there's some big reveals left. One is Jimmy Woo, who is the person that went missing in the Hex that he was looking for. We still don't know that yet. We still don't know who could possibly be the big Luke Skywalker cameo coming up. Don't know if that was already, if that was Evan Peters that was it, or someone else. So there's still that to come up. 2 more episodes, and here's hoping that the two last episodes are an hour long. Here's hoping that they do an hour long this time.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was disappointed by, because I thought this was going to be one of the hour long episodes, but you know. But
I mean,
great episode.
I feel like it's always better to leave an audience wanting more.
Yeah, and they're doing it every week.
God damn.
And the characters from this show, they're gonna obviously build on them and then put them in other stuff. Like Monica Rambeau, obviously she's gonna be introduced in more movie shows. She's gonna be in Captain Marvel 2, right? They said.
Probably.
Yes, that's confirmed. It's her and the actress playing Miss Marvel. Both of them are gonna be in Captain Marvel 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So both of them are going to be in there. So now she has powers now. So it's going to be interesting to see, her journey as a character going through these kind of films, like in other MCU properties. I really, really like the actress a lot. So she's really nice. All right. So that is it for WandaVision. That is it for the show. We're going to get out of here, people. Nick, where can people find you?
All right, you can find me Twitter, Instagram at Night and Day Nick.
Awesome. Chase.
You can find me at Mr. Chase Mac. That's spelled MrChaysemac on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And where can they find the show?
Okay, so with the channel, we're on all the good social medias. We're on TikTok. We're doing that. We're on TikTok.com/The Afternoon Tune. We're on Instagram.com/The Afternoon Tune. We are also on Facebook, Facebook.com/The Afternoon Tune. We are also on Twitter at Twitter.com/The Afternoon Tune. Just everything, always The Afternoon Tune. You can email us at TheAfternoonTune@gmail.com. Of course, you can always find us on YouTube as well at YouTube.com/The Afternoon Tune. We are also wherever you listen to podcasts like Spotify. We're on there. We're on Apple Podcasts, Anchor. So if you listen to podcasts in those different ways, you also can find us on that. Twitch at twitch.com/The Afternoon Tune. Right now, taking a little bit of a break. I want to make sure I got the right equipment to stream it properly, to make it look good. Notice like there's been some kind of like weird pixelation going on with some of the videos. Don't know if it's like my internet per se. Don't know if it's like the quality. I'm using the PS5, some of the settings. So I'm going to be adjusting that and getting back to that. But when we start streaming regularly, check for us Saturdays. Okay, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's what we're going to be usually doing, streaming games. Money Grudge Match is going to come up between me and Chase. Okay? Between Smash and Fighters. Okay, it's going to be a good.
Your money, man.
Good grudge match. You see how he's running from the grudge match, as you see right now. He's running.
The more shit you talk, the more I'm willing to take your money, but.
He's running from it as always. But grudge match coming up.
If prior history has shown, I'm gonna get $5 out of this at least.
No, there's no way. First to 5, in Smash and in Fighters, I will win. So people be there. We're gonna set it up. This is gonna be a more anticipated fight than Maverick versus Joe Robertson. This is gonna be intense. This is gonna be intense, people. So
this is gonna be a smackdown like she did when she elbowed that chick.
All right. So to all you people out there listening to this, I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and hope you had a good time. And to all you people out there, don't forget to always stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Am I on a delay or something? Why do you?